Welcome, folks. Welcome to Cats and Conspiracies. It's a late night rant tonight. How is everyone? How the hell are you all doing? How is everybody? If you want to know what I'm ranting about today, no, if you don't want to know what I'm ranting about today, if you want to know what I'm talking about today, it is this: the coffee table. I'll get to that in a second because that is a very disturbing movie, and I was not prepared for what I saw in it. But first, as in tradition on Cats and Conspiracies, my rant. So, Alien Earth has been vomited onto everybody's screens. No, I haven't watched it, and no, I won't be watching it. I know enough about it to know that I'll never watch it. I'm already so black pilled now with modern cinema that the sad thing is, if something amazing came along from Hollywood, it's probably going to pass me by because I've just got no interest in watching it. It's almost like um, you've had like a say you'd had what can I think of an example? You'd had 1,000 bad experiences. You'd been to this same restaurant 1,000 times, and every time you went, you got food poisoning, and suddenly they fixed it, and everything was incredible. You just wouldn't trust it. You just wouldn't go, and that's what I think's just happened now with Hollywood. They've done too much damage, and once again we have Disney. I mean, I'm amazed to see people going in the comments for Alien Earth. See, that's one of the things I like to do. I do like to torture myself by keeping an ear out on what's going on and reading the reviews, checking out what people are saying on IMDb, looking at the comments on a lot of the other guys that I follow, and I'm just seeing what people are saying about these things. And I'm not remotely surprised to see some of the comments of the ridiculous amount of member, sort of things that are happening with Alien Earth. Like, I don't get it. Like, some of the things you could argue, if you were to say, yeah, well, Paul, um, it's set on the same spaceship, or it's set on the same planet, or it's the same company, then you could sort of understand why maybe the design would be the same, or the ship would be the same, or the planet would be the same, or something would be the same. But why a completely different time zone from what I'm understanding? This is set before. I don't even care because none of these are canon. But if let's just say they were, this is set before Alien. Apparently, why would they have a cat that looks like Jonesy? Why would they even have a cat at all? Like it was really unusual. I imagine that Ripley had a cat with her in Alien. So for another crew to have a cat and for it to look like Jonesy, why would that happen? There's no reason for that other than remember Jonesy. I remember Jonesy. Hey guys, remember that vastly superior film? Yeah, just remember it. Feel good about that. That's all this is designed to do. Oh, not just that, actually, it's designed to destroy it as well. Destroy all those good memories you had for it. So it's like, remember it, and here it is destroyed. Yeah, what is the point of that? It just seems completely insane. But I'm amazed how many people were saying, God, such high hopes for this. Like, I was so looking forward to this. I'm so disappointed. Like, really? Did you really have high hopes for an alien produced by Disney? Really? You had high hopes for that? Have you not? Have you not been paying attention? They're not out to make, and this isn't entertainment. This is destruction. That's all this is. Oh well, some people liked it, Paul. Maybe it's subjective. No, all right. If people are liking this, it's because they have set the bar so low now that even trash is celebrated. I actually saw a review though. I couldn't believe this. They were talking about aliens and in general, and he said, "I've never watched Aliens." What? How is that even possible? How have you got this far in life and not watched one of the best films ever made? For the record, Aliens is my number one favorite film of all time that I've watched a million times over. Yes, I've got the Nerf pulse rifle. I should have got that out. So you could all have a look. Maybe I'll get that out in the next video. Actually, I'll do something aliens related, and maybe I'll just talk about aliens. I could talk about that forever. But yeah, why? This is something I was going to rant about as well. And this when I still had a little bit of faith, and I can't believe I'm admitting to this. I went to the cinema. I mean, which one it was now? Was it Prometheus? It was the first out of the two, so I think it was Prometheus. I can't believe I went in with high hopes. I can't believe I did. I was such an idiot. Yeah, I hated them. Basically, there are two Alien films, okay? There's Alien and there's Aliens. Do you know what happened after that? Nothing. Newt, Hicks, Ripley, and Bishop, they sailed off into the moonset. The end. I don't want to know anymore. I don't need to know anymore, okay? That's my ending. That's it. Anything that happened after that is canon. I was there when Alien 3 came out. Yeah, I was pretty young when it came out. Young enough that I don't think I could see it at the cinema. Young enough that, and old enough, should I say, that there was no internet back then. So we knew nothing really about the spoilers from Alien 3. The only thing we really kept seeing was that shot of Ripley with her head shaved and the alien in her face. Oh, hang on a minute. Romulus. Remember? That was in Romulus, wasn't it? Which I would just like to point out I didn't watch because it looks like an absolute pile of trash. Once again, remember the pulse rifles? What about a slightly different pulse rifle? Just piss off with this shit. It's just, there's no, full rant though, there is no artistic merit in these modern day Hollywood films. There is nothing. There's no soul. There is no passion. There's no taking a risk. There's no investing some of their own money into it, you know, like Spielberg did when he made Jaws. There's no taking a punt on a strange idea like they did with Aliens, or Alien, should I say. It's nothing. It's a product. It is a McDonald's product. No one loves it. No one hates it, but people eat it. And as soon as you've eaten it, you're hungry 5 minutes later for more because none of it satisfies. Anyway, one of the rants I was having were with Prometheus. Oh, God, it's late tonight, guys. One of the rants I was having when I watched Prometheus was, first of all, I couldn't believe they took the mystery away from everything, because they have to. But to take the mystery away from the engineers, or the space jockey, as I know it as. You know, we knew nothing about that. We didn't need to know anything about it. You know why? Because mystery is intriguing. It's exciting. Yes, we want to know more. But do we need to know more? No, we don't. And that is the way to leave it. Have us wanting more. But yes, one of the things that annoyed me, one of the many things that annoyed me about Prometheus was, if you asked a child, gave them some crayons and said, draw me an alien, draw me a really scary space alien, that thing that appears at the end, that just looks like an octopus, with a beaky mouth, is what a child would draw. They would come up with something octopusy like. I don't know why it always seems to be like that, with tentacly arms. Or if you had a Pixar thing that had some kind of monster in it, it would be a Pixar-y type tentacly monster. And that's what they came up with in Prometheus. And oh, what a surprise when I see some stills from Alien Earth. Let's have a look. Another insanely, painfully generic alien. Is that the best their creative team could come up with? A tentacly type monster with an eyeball? That's shit. Go and look at the design from Alien. Go and look at what Geiger created. Well, should I say, they used the inspiration of Geiger's work to create the alien. How much creativity was in that? What was it? Was it mechanical, biomechanical? Where did it come from? How did this thing, in what, can you imagine the kind of world that this thing came from? No, you can't, because it is out of our... Oh, I'm throwing pens around now. In a rage, my rage has got so much I'm throwing pens around. No, we can't imagine these things because we haven't earned the right to know yet. These things are beyond our comprehension, and they're beyond our understanding. That there is pathetic. Draw me an eyeball with legs on it. They should be ashamed of themselves, embarrassed. But of course they won't, because they have no soul, because they sold it a long time ago so that they could sit at the table with all the other demons. Let's get rid of it. It's just awful. I hate it. So anyway, that's part of my rant about Aliens. God's sake, if you have never watched Alien and Aliens, the only two Alien films that exist, go and watch them. Aliens is my favorite film of all time. It is an incredible film. It is an hour in Aliens before you even see a glimpse of an alien. That is build up. That's how they know how to create tension. So anyway, what have I watched recently? I definitely didn't hate this film, and I definitely did not love this film. The Coffee Table. Spanish, small independent horror film. Is it scary? Yes. Is it terrifying? Yes. Is it disturbing? Yes. Would I ever watch this again? No. I would never watch this film again. Just to give you a little idea of the premise about this film, it's the type. I just had no idea where this film was going. All I knew was I'd heard it was disturbing. So I purposefully didn't read anything about it, and I just went in completely blind. Oh, so late tonight, guys. So the storyline's kind of simple in this one, guys. Very, very long scene at the beginning with this guy and his wife, their very newborn child, talking about this coffee table in the shop. It actually looks quite generic. It's kind of a glass top, two sort of figures either side of that holding the glass top up, and yeah, he buys this coffee table and takes it home. There's some debate with his wife about whether we should have this thing, all that kind of stuff. She doesn't like it. He loves it. Blah blah blah. So he takes his coffee table back to his very depressing high-rise block of flats. I'm gonna have to mention spoilers as a warning for anyone who thinks they should watch this, perhaps with their girlfriend or their mum or something like that, because I am glad I watched this on my own. I'd heard it was disturbing, so I thought I'm going to check it out, but I'm very glad I did not watch this with my girlfriend, because I don't think she would have made it through this film, even though the majority of the horror is shown off screen. Thank God it is as well. So this is why this is a hard film to recommend. The normies would hate this. All right, if you explain the plot of this film to the normies, wouldn't you? Well, for a start, it's foreign, so they wouldn't be able to deal with that. They don't want to read subtitles. That would freak them out straight away. The fact it pretty much takes place 90% of it, apart from when he's buying the coffee table, takes place in their apartment. But what stood out for this for me, before I knew where this was going, before the thing had happened, I instantly was thinking to myself, I feel like I feel like I've got a secret window, Johnny Depp. I feel like I've got a secret window into these people's lives of what's going to happen at this moment. I almost felt like I was peeking in on what was going on, because the acting in this and the tension is incredible. The acting is insanely realistic. I didn't for 1 minute think, oh, look, I'm watching a bunch of Gen Zers pretending. I just felt like I was watching normal people in a situation which is insane. I was instantly drawn into this, even though I had no idea where it was going. So I'm going to do spoilers, but first of all, I'm going to recommend this to a very select group of people. If you want a masterclass in acting, building suspense, a nightmare situation that could only really happen in a nightmare, you would wish it would happen in a nightmare and you want to wake up from, which is very much how this guy is processing this situation, almost as if it hasn't happened. This is a masterclass in acting, suspense, and watching a story unfold. And that is what cinema is. It is artistically telling a story. And there's passion behind this. But be warned, because I'm going to do spoilers now. Be warned. This is a very disturbing film that involves something that happens to a newborn. Okay? Very, very disturbing. Just be warned if you're going to go in. Okay, guys? I'm going to do spoilers now, but if you're going to click off now and then go and watch it, thanks for checking this video. I hope you've enjoyed the rants, and please feel free to drop me some comments down below of your rants. Okay, even if you think, Paul, I watched Alien Earth and I thought it was a masterpiece. Best thing since The Godfather. Obviously, you are extremely high or drunk, or maybe you have gone mental, which is fine. So, okay, no more warnings. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Spoilers for the coffee table. So this is what happens in the coffee table. Okay. Whilst his wife is out, he admittedly, initially, he does seem to resent the newborn a little bit. He's not, doesn't like the kid's name, doesn't particularly seem that enamored by it. And his wife goes out. Baby's crying, and he's picking the baby up and he's walking back and forth. And even at this stage, I really had no idea where this was going. I certainly didn't get a sense of anything untoward, any evil or anything like that. I was actually watching it thinking, oh, I know it seems like he's playing the I don't like the kid, but actually he seemed very enamored by it when his wife had left. And he was walking back and forth with the kid, which was screaming and crying. Okay, and this is what happened. You see him walking back and forth past the doorway, back and forth, back and forth. Then as he's off screen, completely out of the blue, you don't see what happens. You hear a crash, breaking glass, and silence. The baby is not screaming anymore. Camera eventually moves around. We see a waist shot up of him, and there is blood. Blood on the table, the glass is broken, blood in his hands, blood in his shirt, blood all over him, and pure fear, panic, and disbelief in his eyes. And we are having to kind of guess what has happened there. Obviously, some kind of accident involving this glass and the coffee table and the newborn, because there is no longer any crying. His wife is out, and you also get a scene of her bumping into some woman in the supermarket. And she's talking about the babies. Oh, God, it's the greatest thing in the world. You know, I've never known love like this before. We're so happy now. This is incredible. This is amazing. And her friend's saying, oh, this friend she's bumped into, oh, I really would love to speak to your husband. And she's trying to phone him, and he's on the phone going, hello. Pure shock, like beyond, you're talking nightmarish, beyond shock here. Obviously, the reality is starting to hit home that this is real. His wife's calling him. Friend's trying to talk to him, and he keeps hanging the phone up. And she obviously has no idea, because he's kind of acting normal but weird. And she's like, why did you hang the phone up on me? What's going on here? And he's like, oh, yeah, got stuff to do or something. She's like, he's been a bit weird. Anyway, I'll be home in 10 minutes, something like that. Shot goes back to him. There's blood everywhere. He's trying to clear the blood up. He goes to his neighbors. He's trying to get cleaning products to clean the blood up. And it's just like, it's a nightmare. Obviously, the blood isn't cleaning up because it's in the carpet. He takes what we assume is the very, very injured, deceased child, and puts it in his crib, covers it up. Obviously, panic mode in full swing, disbelief and denial. His wife is on her way back. She's calling him, asking him why he's not answering the phone. She's banging on the door. He's not letting her in. He eventually lets her in, and he's just living in complete denial, trying to delay it for as long as possible, because he knows that a nightmare is about to unfold. His brother, I think it's his brother. His brother comes around with his girlfriend, and there's just so much tension, because they're just all so happy for them. They've had this newborn, and it also turns out his brother's girlfriend is pregnant. So like, oh my God, you know, he's going to have a cousin and all this kind of stuff. And the guy is just he knows his world is about to collapse. But he still hasn't said anything, and his brother's going, you know, what's the matter with you? What's wrong? I know there's something wrong. You better tell me what it is. I'm not leaving here until you tell me what's wrong. And obviously his wife, his brother, and his girlfriend are all desperate. Oh, we want to go and see the newborn. He's like, no, he's sleeping. He's sleeping right now. You can't see him. all this kind of stuff. So it's a nightmare that he wants to wake up from, and the tension is just horrendous. I just felt so much for this poor guy of what had happened. It was horrific. I won't say too much more on that, but obviously this film does not have a happy ending. Okay, this is, I don't know, a lesson in depression, or I don't know what it is. It's almost a film that I can't recommend, other than to say, if you want to see tension, if you want to see people acting like normal people that aren't like celebrities that you could be watching through someone's window, then go and check this out. But not if you are easily disturbed, or maybe if you have a newborn yourself, because I can't think of many films like this that kind of disturb me this much. And I will say a bit further on in the film, when his brother eventually gets him to confess, he goes over to the cot and looks in it and describes we don't see it, fortunately. He describes what he sees, and what he describes will chill your blood. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that. So I recommend it, and at the same time, I don't recommend it. The tension in this film is so well done. It's so cleverly done. There's even a scene in it where when he's put the deceased child in the cot, he sets up the little the voice radio thingy that you can hear them, and it's like static and interfering on it. You can't quite hear what it is, and he sort of sets it up. It's quite, these things are quite sensitive, and his wife's like, "Listen, what's that? Listen to it." And he's sort of going like that, and she's like, "It's dripping." Like, why is it making a dripping sound? He's like, "Oh, no, I think that's oh, there's obviously something wrong. I'll go and check it out." She goes, "No, I'll go and have a look." He's like, "No, you can't. I'll go and have a look." And he goes in the room, and there's like the blood is dripping down. It is, honestly, this film is just a nightmare. It's a living nightmare. So anyway, I've rambled long enough. I hope you enjoyed my rant. And please, guys, give me some likes and some subscribing, some subscription action. And don't forget to put your rants down below. I'm not filtered. Let me know what you think. Join in with my absolute black-pilling hatred for modern Hollywood and the demons, and how they're just completely running amok now. And yeah, on that cheery note, I will bid you farewell, and I'll see you again soon on Cats and Conspiracies. Take care, guys.